Hi there. Let me start with the PowerPoint, the first one. And I am Clement Lopez, Dr. C in short form. So today I am presenting the law of diminishing marginal utility. It must be familiar, but I try to make it visual as much as possible for more comprehension, okay? So before I go to the law of diminishing marginal utility, I want to differentiate some conceptual thing. So what is the marginal and the total? Marginal means each. So this is marginal, this is marginal, this is marginal. So that means every one added or each orange is marginal. And difference between marginal in terms of first, second, third, fourth like. But the total is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So how do we measure the satisfaction that we get from each orange when we consume one by one? So for the length, we use miles and kilometers or small centimeter, inches, or to measure the liquid, we use gas, liters, or to weighing, we use a pound or kilograms, for temperature, centigrade, Fahrenheit. But how do we measure the level of satisfaction? I have used the emojis. So this is highest utility. Can we express like that? High utility or normal utility, no utility, negative utility. So utils is the measure used to measure the amount of satisfaction we get from every unit of consumption. So please don't laugh that I'm using emojis. Otherwise, how do I know your mindset of level of action? I'm just trying to visualize. So highest utility to no utility or negative utility. Okay, then how do we use it in economics? So here is I'm trying to visualize the falling law of diminishing marginal utility. When we have more and more oranges or whatever we have, more and more we want less and less. So the additional unit gives less satisfaction, or in economics we use utils to measure it. But for easy comprehension, I have colored the level of satisfaction or the amount of utility. So from the first orange, when we consume, we get this much because it's the first one. We get this much, and that I have to save time. I already filled here. So this is the this much level of satisfaction. So that much is the total from the first one. And the second orange gives, suppose it is 8 and this is 10. This is 8. So 8 is also added with this. So total becomes 18. And the third orange gives 6 utilities. So that much is also added. So 18 plus 6, 24. From the second, only 8. Okay. From the fourth orange, we get 4 utilities. 4 sides. So that much is also added. From the fifth orange, we get 2 utilities. So total becomes 30. From 28 to 30. So the increment is very less. Total increases, but very less because the added is less and less and less. That is a law. When we consume more and more, the level of satisfaction comes down, or the marginal. Marginal means additional. Additional is less. So the total increases, but at a diminishing rate. From the sixth orange, there is no utility. There is no satisfaction. We are fed up. So nothing is added. So it remains 30. From the seventh orange, there is minus. So I have taken out 2 from here. So I keep little away. So the total now came down from 30 to 28 because this much is the negative. I shall explain with the PowerPoint and the graphs and table also. So we got the concepts between marginal utility and total utility. That is very important. because the marginal utility or the utility from every added orange is the amount of satisfaction that comes down. So as we visualized earlier with the colored water, total utility increases as much as the marginal utility is positive. Then it becomes negative and comes down. Okay. So each, the first orange gives 10, the second orange 8, third orange 6, fourth orange 4. We already noticed with the colored water the experiment. So this is, I am also using the emojis for a simple way. So if we suppose it is a continuous, like a liquid or a milk or juice, or so we cannot discrete like 1, 2, 3. Suppose it's a continuous, so we get a curve downward sloping. After the 0, it becomes negative. So this is negative. So this is a textbook way of presenting the graph. Here we use the marginal utility and here is the number of units. In our example, it is orange. So the marginal utility, the additional level of satisfaction comes down. And this is the total utility we get. From every orange added, we get first 10, then 18, because the second gave only 8. So the total from 2 oranges, not the second, from the 2 oranges, 18. From 3 oranges, 24, because from third one we got only 6. So from 4 oranges, 28. From 5 oranges, 30. That means from the 5th orange we got only 2, so it is 30. But from the 6th orange, 0. So from 6 oranges, the total is 30, nothing added. From the 7 oranges, the last one gave minus 2. So the total started falling to 28. So if we draw a curve, total utility curve, it goes upward, though, but at a diminishing rate, because the added utility is less and less, or marginal utility diminishes. So total utility finally reaches the maximum and then started falling down because the added utility is less, negative. So I have also used the textbook way of presenting the total utility curve. Now these two marginal utility, downward sloping marginal utility curve and the upward sloping total utility curve, both are in this. And this is a table, the same thing. The first we started with the colored water in different bottles, and then we made it a visual picture. Then we put it in a graph form. Now this is a table form. So the first orange 10, differentiate, please differentiate first and 1, second and 2, total. Again you may ask a lot of questions. Suppose you are saying that, hey, no, I don't use this as this orange, but only a slice, only a slice. Then the marginal utility, the additional satisfaction may not come because the size is very small. Or suppose you are taking orange juice, it's only a drop by drop. So we assume that it should be a reasonable size. Taking an orange in the morning and another one in the night and the third one next day morning. No, this law will not hold. I agree. It will not come down. It should be continuous. We assume that when we consume it continuously. So continuous is another assumption. Then you may argue that, okay, I agree. So the second unit is you are changing the quality. You are making milkshake. So the quality is different. So first is this orange. And first you take like this, and then the second is a milkshake with orange juice. So the quality is different. So the utility may goes up. No, we assume that the same quality is maintained. Every unit is same as we noticed in the example. Then another question you may raise. Suppose the first one is a big orange and the second one a small orange and the third one is a slice. Then the law of diminishing marginal utility will not be a law. or universally applicable? No. So we assume that when we say that the additional utility comes down, we assume that quantity is also same. It is constant, same. And you may also ask whether it is applicable to all situations. Suppose wealth. So we know that those who amass wealth, accumulate wealth, it's never satisfied. They enjoy, go on adding more wealth, more money, more buildings, like that. So, of course, but still there is a possibility that the $1,000 for a millionaire or billionaire is different for a homeless. So that is why there is a argument for progressive taxation. That is studied in public finance. And another is collection, coin collection, antiques collection, so hobbies. But still that also holds. When you get the same coin, same currency, same antique, second, third, this may hold good. And then why do we study this law? What is the importance in economics? It's a very big importance because in the market there are two forces, the demand force and the availability of goods and services. So as our additional utility is coming down, we are not ready to buy additional unless the price is also coming down. So all these consumer behavior, demand function, of course, next video I do the demand law of demand and demand function, elasticity of demand, and all these forms the consumer behavior. So that is very much important. The consumer behavior is very much important to study the markets and the economy. And the individual demands from the national aggregate demand that influence the price, that influence the supply and business cycles. So all these are very important. You may read by pausing the screen. So thank you and best wishes. Have a wonderful time. See you soon in the next video.